What's bubbling, magical people? Welcome back to the Witching Hour. I am your host, Kimmy, aka Miss Merlin, Kiki, Keek, Kim, whatever you want to call me. Thank you so much for joining us again. Mel's back, as you can probably hear her giggling in the background here.
I'm still processing all the names. Which name will you go by today?
I don't know. I like to keep my bases covered for what all people call me.
As long as they keep it real and they keep it nice and they, as long as it's all good,
Yes, very true. Very true. So we're going to be talking about astrology today, guys. We have some stuff going on, so we thought we'd tell you about it so you're a little more prepared.
Unlike us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we were just discussing how we're feeling like very brain foggy. Like we're getting a lot done and being productive, but like the brain foggy is next level. And Mel and I both perimenopause, right? But it's not that kind of brain fog. Like it's a different kind of brain fog that is happening, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not in perimenopause. I'm actually in menopause.
Okay.
So
sorry.
That's really got that, but still, sometimes the symptoms do come back because I am a woman. So
yeah.
I don't know. The hormones are still kind of adjusting, I guess. Menopause for me is for the rest of my life. I'm in menopause now, so it's just a matter of getting the hormones kind of balanced. It's like anything else in life. You have to figure out the best way to balance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm finding out so many symptoms that I didn't even know were symptoms. And doctors really need to educate themselves more on this topic. They really do. Yeah, the like runny nose all the time, like you have constant allergies. That's a menopause symptom. I didn't know that.
Yeah, anything. Your body changes so much during perimenopause, like things that maybe you were never allergic to, you are now, or allergies you had can disappear.
Yeah.
So your body's changing. Like your body is it's changing. It's becoming brand new in ways. So because it's getting used to not having the capacity anymore to create that egg for fertilization, if that's what you're supposed to be doing, so your whole body is changing. It's becoming brand new in essence,
Yeah, which is right along with the energies of right now. Because Pluto just went retrograde on May 4th, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's true. A really, really interesting correlation for sure.
Yeah.
So when we're recording this, Mel and I are recording this on the Tuesday. So we just had, we're still in the energy right now of the flower moon. All right. So this is kind of like a micro full moon. So it looks a little bit smaller because of where it is in orbit. This one's kind of been about power dynamics. So you might have noticed, the previous week leading up to when you're hearing this podcast, that things might have been a little chaotic, and there might have been a lot of drama surrounding this week, right? Some secrets might have been revealed. Some truths may have been revealed. This is like the airing out of the dirty laundry. And with Pluto just going retrograde starting on the 4th, woo!
Yeah, definitely. And Mars is back in Leo, so that's fire. We're in. There's a lot of planets still in Aries, which is the fieriest fiery sign there is.
Yeah.
So, there could be a lot of conflict, or maybe you find that you're just more short-tempered. Maybe it's really, really common. A Scorpio full moon is no joke. It's probably the most powerful moon there is, and when it's full, it's death, rebirth, but independently, individually, and collectively, it's anything that you didn't want to face, or that was hidden from you, whether that be subconsciously or even, consciously speaking, it's coming to light for sure.
Yeah, truths about people.
Right.
Situations. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some situations pop up, that have been revealed the truth about those situations. Mm-hmm. And that's sometimes painful. The signs that are going to be feeling this the most within these energies that are going to be affected the most are going to be the fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aqua. And if we think about it, this full moon is in Scorpio, which you mentioned. And the symbol for Scorpio is the scorpion, right? Mm-hmm. The scorpion likes to run around at night, right? Mm-hmm. So in the dark, so all that stuff, that darkness being brought to light. And also, if you get in its way, it'll sting you, right? Mm-hmm. So there might be some of those stinging energies happening right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Anywhere that you have Scorpio in your chart, the fixed signs, like you mentioned, they are definitely being activated and highlighted this time, with Pluto being in Aquarius, which is a fixed air sign.
Yes.
Scorpio is the fixed water sign. Taurus is in Uranus, and that's in opposition to the Scorpio moon. So, And Leo with Mars being in Leo, all of the fixed signs are definitely affected. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to, I guess the most, but just what we all have all of these signs in our chart. We may not have planets on all of these signs, but whatever house these signs land in is going to be affected. But especially the Scorpio placements right now with this full moon energy. Yeah. So I'm personally a Scorpio moon. So it's, the days leading up to this, since I feel the energies a couple of days before have been pretty, I've been like reevaluating, I guess. So like my emotions, because the moon is all about emotion. So I've been kind of reflecting and re-examining how I feel about certain things occurring in my life and in the world and in my relationships and within myself. And it's been really, really clarifying.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what you should be doing right now. Yeah. You are right on target with the energies of right now, right? Yeah. As I mentioned, there could be a lot of opposing energies because Mel said, where it's opposing Uranus right now, right? Doesn't like that.
All right. Yeah, it's not comfortable. Uranus and Taurus doesn't like to be in Uranus. Uranus doesn't like to be in Taurus. So Uranus being the planet of technology, the planet of forward thinking, of outside the box thinking and changing and kind of the evolution of things, being in the sign of Taurus, it does not like to be there. Mm-hmm. So, we might be thinking about what we consider luxurious, what we consider homey, what we consider for like careers or finances. It's all about the Taurus energy. Yeah. So, we might be thinking of that in a different way, especially with Pluto in Aquarius,
right?
Which so this is all affected. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if each of us is kind of going through that checklist or redoing a checklist of, well, is this the career I want? Is this the relationship I want? Do I want to continue to do things the way I've been doing them, or am I stagnant? Do I feel stuck? Do I need a change? Do I need a different pattern? Do I need a different routine? So these are very, very common things that might be coming up for us.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of in collective readings and just card pulls that I've done and stuff. Coming up with new ways to make money, right? So some people may take complete career pivots here during this transit. I also would like to point out that this full moon energy that we're still going to be in by the time this podcast goes up is very, very, very high in the reproductive organs. So it's very, very tied to the sacral chakra. So if you are engaging in fun time during this time with people you may not be the most familiar with, okay, no judgment, just make sure that you're wearing protection, okay, because this could be a time where you could get things.
Yeah.
Right?
Fertile myrtle and all kinds of other things you may not want.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because this, again, is very tied to the sacral chakra and the not so nice things that happen with the sacral chakra. So, again, if you're engaging, we don't want anybody contracting anything they shouldn't be contracting. Scorpio at this time, most cautious. Please.
Oh, yeah.
Be the most cautious.
Yeah. Sun, moon, rising.
Yeah.
Mars.
The passion energy will also be running very high. So, yeah. Be careful with the decisions you're making around those things at this time.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of sit back and contemplate before you jump into anything that might be a little questionable or, Scorpio rules the reproductive system, so we have to be careful.
Yeah. And I think it's also about getting control of those impulses. So this will also be a really, really good time to, if you have any issues in this area, sex addiction, porn addiction, anything, again, sex related, sacral related, this is a really, really good time for releasing those things.
Yeah.
And getting a healthier energy around sex and sexuality. Yeah.
Yeah. Even addictions, any addictions, really, right now, we have to be super mindful of that. Like, even I have a sugar addiction, and I'm really trying to work on that daily, be very mindful of my sugar intake. But any kind of addiction, eating, addiction to food, addiction to, technology.
Yeah, that's a big one right now.
Yeah, we have to be really mindful because this is the time, the energy for kind of, if we're not diligent in controlling these urges that addictions, create in us, we can really lose ourselves in said addiction.
And fall back into old patterns we may not want to, right? But again, it's a really good time to really grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, Taurus season, for putting the last nail in the coffin to those things, if that's something you struggle with. So you can use the energy either way, really.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So just be careful with that, with the codependency. And again, it doesn't have to be a substance. And like Mel was mentioning, with the social media, that's a big new one. And people don't realize how addicted to scrolling and stuff that people have become. So just be aware, and don't get pulled into dramas too.
Right.
Yeah. That's another thing.
We always have to be careful of that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like TikTok can be awesome sometimes. Like, it can be really entertaining. It also can have so much information on there too. That's awesome and great. But then you also get the pushed content that triggers you, like all the political stuff and all of that crap. So you just have to just be very cautious of it. Speaking of passion, I just have to bring this up. I don't think you know who he is because you're not on TikTok as much, but there is some unhinged funniness that is happening on TikTok that I just have to talk about for a second.
Okay.
Because it's right along with the energies of passion and stuff. Okay, so ladies, if you don't know who Jonathan Cain is, you're missing out. He's great. Anyways, if you don't know who he is, go check him out. He makes adult content. on OnlyFans, but on OF, sorry. He also does stuff on TikTok, very encouraging to women, empowering for women. You know, he's great. And also very good looking. A lot of thirst trappy stuff, of course.
That doesn't hurt.
No, it does not. Not at all. But the funniest thing that's happening right now is all the national parks, Yellowstone started it, so we got to give props where props are due. But they're all using his stuff and stitching it and like putting it with the most unhinged, naughty thing. I send it to you on TikTok. You have to check it out after we do this. But, and all of them, they're just getting nastier and naughtier and using like the most explicit songs and audio edits, and they're all doing it. Joshua Tree. Banff has joined the party. Go Canada. We're joining the Jonathan Kane party now. And like Yellowstone's doing it. I can't remember, but a couple of other ones. I'm seeing them all on my FYP, and I'm here for it. It's so funny. It is so funny. They're all trying to one up the other one. It's really hilarious. It's definitely something on the entertaining end of there to check out.
That's cool. But that could lead to addiction.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
We have
to be mindful of the scrolling.
Vicky, Kimmy, Miss Berlin.
I know, but you also, like, you have to build your FYP brick by brick, right?
Sure, of course.
Mine is obviously very built to me. But I just think it's so funny. And I've gotten a lot of entertainment out of it, so I wanted to mention it and share with the masses who may not know yet. Oh, because it's great. But we're sorry, honey, go ahead.
Thanks. I was going to say thanks to you. He's going to get some more followers.
Not just thanks to, he's got millions. And because of this whole national park thing that's going on, like, he's getting even more. It's a good deal for both of them, I think.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, he's just so darn cute. Oh gosh. Anyways,
before I forget, can I give a shout out?
Yeah.
I heard your podcast last week with Tina.
Oh yeah.
Lady Oracle 1111, and I just want to say, Tina, I know that you watched the podcast. I wanted to say you did a great job. I loved hearing you and Kimmy talk about tarot. It was so informative, and Tina, you were great. It was a great podcast.
Thank you so much, and I'm sure she'll really appreciate that too. Yeah.
Well, she's great. You know, she's a great tarot reader. I've seen her readings, and she's great, and it was just really informative, and I enjoyed it very much.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to be doing some more divination stuff. I'm going to be doing, as we were talking about actually before we started recording, I did a how to read runes video years back. And I really don't like the way that I did it, I was discussing that. It wasn't really my style. I kind of almost did it rushed. And yeah, I want to redo it and try, like, make it easier. So I'm going to be doing how to read runes series, a whole bunch of different things. Yeah, coming up.
Great. I can't wait to see, because I need to learn how to use my runes. I have them and I don't know what to do with them.
Yes.
So I can't wait.
Yeah, I made her a beautiful custom set of organite runes. Yeah,
they're gorgeous. They're amethyst. They're really beautiful. I love them, but
she's
really
Aquarius.
Just don't know what to do with
her birthstone. Yeah, so that's why we chose that one. But yeah, and it's actually funny. I kind of have the energy of the sun here today, because it's supposed to be raining and it's nice and sunny out. And I made Mel an extra little Sewello rune, which is actually her birth rune. And Sewello is the sun. So that's sun energy. We're also mentioning Mars too, right? That very masculine energy too.
Right.
So I really do feel, this is that transit where, you can either go the toxic route, or you can take the divine masculine, quote unquote, route. Right?
Right. Yeah. That's the thing about certain signs. We have the harmonious, divine aspects of a sign, and then you have the distorted version, and you always want to try to work with the energy of that sign, but the healthy version of those characteristics that each sign have, because then when you go into the distorted characteristics, it's not pretty.
No, not at all. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, because we were going to discuss Dionysus, right? And I talked about Dionysus a couple weeks back, and I actually have his deity heart here with me right now. So that energy very, very present.
But they can't see what it looks like. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can see, if you want to, on my social media, because I have all my deity hearts posted there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dionysus, if you didn't get a chance to hear the podcast yet, he is known for that debaucherous energy, right? And the party guy. He was the party animal of the Greek pantheon. But what a lot of people don't know is that other side to him, right? It's not about overindulging. Right? It's using the energies for what they're meant for, that trance, the sensuality, but you're not supposed to go too far with it. And he is very helpful for that.
Right.
As I mentioned in the podcast, he was very helpful to me when I was trying to get sober. So this God who's like so associated with partying and wine especially and things like that is, helping me get sober.
That's that's great. If you can harness that energy of his and use it for advancing yourself and evolving from the things that you need to move away from for your highest good, I think it's fantastic. To work with the energies of these deities and just use them for healing. Yeah,
what they're meant for.
Right.
Yeah.
Funny thing about Dionysus is my mom's name is Dionysia, like I shared with you.
so beautiful.
And she wasn't named after him, as far as I know. She was named after the midwife who delivered her. Her name was Dionysia, and my grandmother fell in love with the name. So she wanted to honor the midwife by calling my mother Dionysia. And my mother couldn't be further from the typical Dionysus. She's definitely not a party person. She doesn't overindulge with any food, drink, whatever. And at one point she did, though, when she was younger, and she was out of the first religious cycle of her life, because she grew up in a very religious home. My grandparents were Pentecostal, so it was a very, very serious kind of
strict
way to it was very serious, very strict. So when my mother started moving away from that, when she moved here from Puerto Rico and lived with her oldest sister, she then started to, I don't want to say sow her oats, but she started to be a little looser now that she wasn't under my grandparents' house. So she started to engage in Dionysus-like activities.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny, because that's the same way that I started.
It's hilarious. And then, my mom did have periods of fun. She used to dance and she used to drink, not excessively, but, she was a lot more fun to be around, if that's your idea of fun. But now she's 82 years old, and so she's kind of back to day one, where she's more into the religiousness of her life and, finding comfort in religion, which is wonderful for her. Fine. Whatever works. Whatever works.
And that's where I don't have an issue with it at all. When people do find comfort in it, or they find healing in it, they find their sobriety in it. Wonderful. It's just when people try to twist it and turn it and use it, manipulate it for other things, that's when I get very upset about it.
I'm sure.
That's so funny about your mom. because that's the same way that I kind of was introduced to Dionysus as well. Because
aren't you a Libra rising?
Yes.
My mom is a Libra sun.
Oh.
And she's got a lot of placements in Libra. So maybe there is a correlation with Libra when you have major Libra personal planets. That this, I guess, sometimes you find it difficult to balance.
Yeah.
You know, the fun with the serious, and that could happen with especially Libra placements. I've noticed that.
Also, like, you know, my sun and moon, Gemini, right? But I'm on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn.
Oh,
so I already have that opposingness.
Yes, love Sagittarius.
You know, Sagittarius is also kind of very Dionysus as well, very flighty and you know, wanderlust and but yeah, that's how I originally met him too, because I was brought up strict Catholic, right?
Yeah,
and that's how I was like, screw all of this, and I just went crazy the other way, right? But the dancing and being trancy, because back then I was a little raver quite a bit, right? And that's how I originally met Dionysus. Was in my raving madwoman days. Yeah, that's so funny. Wow. He is actually like the first deity I think that like came to me. Yeah.
Yeah. When you needed him. He came when you need, they come.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in my teens and early 20s. That was that era. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool that he came and he helped you the way he did.
Mind you, at that time, I didn't connect that that's what it was. I thought it was more the drugs I was on.
You're right. Yeah. Of course.
Because, full disclosure, there was a lot of ecstasy involved back then. You know? But, yeah. And acid.
You know what? We've all had things, done things, recovered from things. And, you know, if we didn't have those experiences, we wouldn't be who we are today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I still don't have a huge issue with acid. I think like if under the right circumstances, you know, I don't consider it plant medicine, but you know what I mean? Because it's not, it's a chemical.
Right.
And it can be messed with. It's hard to, you know, but it does, you know, in the right context and circumstances. But yeah, that's really hard to come by. Yeah.
Got to be so careful with.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Those things, especially if you have an addictive personality. Then just, you know, trying something like that one time can lead to serious addiction. Yep.
Yeah. And I am susceptible to those things. So I have to be very careful, right?
Yeah.
Even with plant medicine and stuff. But even if you're doing retreats and things like that, guys, really do your research first. You know, read reviews, maybe even talk to people who have been on certain retreats before. That's really not something you want to play with. Right. You know, if you're thinking of doing any type of like peyote or, you know, ayahuasca or anything like that, really, 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 really diligently do your research, guys. Yeah. I was actually thinking of running a retreat myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of it. Maybe with peyote. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't really want to, I don't know if I should say this on the podcast, but I grow my own cacti. So
better yours than somebody else's.
That's right. Made and prepared by me, so I know it's safe, right?
Right.
Yeah. But okay, moving on to other subjects. I get myself in trouble. Okay. So we're just coming off of Mother's Day energy too, right? And that was big, bringing up those feminine things. And if I may, I just wanted to tell you guys just a little bit about the history of Mother's Day. So maybe next Mother's Day, we can kind of go back to what it's supposed to be, right? So Mother's Day was actually, quote unquote, invented by a woman named Anna Jarvis. In 1908, she petitioned for Mother's Day to be a holiday. And in 1914, it became official. It was meant to be a day of honoring your mother through acts of service, through handwritten beautiful notes, or making her a meal, things like that, right? But big corporations got a hold of it, of course, and started pushing the candies, the cards, the flowers, trying to cash in on it, right? Making it corporate, making it commercial. And Jarvis was not having it. Like, she even crashed tea rooms, calling these people charlatans and bandits and termites for ruining this sacred day that she had created. And she ended up depleting her entire fortune trying to fight this commercialism. And she died penniless, childless, and in a sanitarium. So kind of sad that Mother's Day is rooted in a woman going insane because men wouldn't listen and stole her ideas for profit. Capitalistic patriarchy at its finest.
What else is new?
Yep. Yeah. So again, next year, maybe handwritten notes, or acts of service to honor Anna, the day that women were just supposed to be appreciated and left the fuck alone for a minute.
But every day should be that way. Not just one day. Every day should be Mother's Day. Listen,
I agree.
Being a mother is the hardest job there is. Honestly, whether you're, a mother to actual children, or, a fur baby mother, or, a plant mom, or you're being a caretaker to something or someone other than yourself. Yeah. That's a high, big responsibility. So we should be honored every day.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, so it's a wonder why women are the ones that have babies, right? Only women can handle a job like that.
It's true. It's absolutely true. It is. No offense to the men listeners out there, but y'all could not. You don't have to deal with menopause. You don't have to deal with babies. You don't have to deal with periods.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they don't have it is because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
We get what they can't handle, basically.
Yeah. Well, the pain of childbirth is equivalent to breaking all your bones at the same time.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yep. It is.
I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah. They measured it. Yeah. You don't forget it. I had the best of both worlds. I had one cesarean and one natural.
Oh, wow.
I don't recommend either way.
Yeah. I had both natural, and one was more intense than the other.
Yeah.
Like my firstborn, my labor was 11 hours long, but he didn't want to come out.
Yeah.
So for an hour and a half, I was pushing him out. And then he ripped me.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, that was no fun. Well, then again, that's just Matthew's personality. And then Joshua, on the other hand, the labor was quick, like less than 2 hours. I wanted an epidural because the pain was that bad, and I never wanted any kind of painkillers at all. But with him, I was in so much pain. He was almost 9 pounds. So I was in so much pain. I was like I was begging the doctors for the epidural. And he was like, no, I'm not having it. And he just came right out. He actually beat the doctor to the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
The doctor came and said, you couldn't wait for me? And I said, it wasn't me, it was him. So, yeah. Crazy. Yeah, that was intense pain. My gosh. Yeah. I could still feel it.
Oh my God.
And that was 25 years ago.
I know. Me too. Yeah. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. Oh my God. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Just terrible. Terrible.
It's not recommended. But then you get,
That's
get
true.
The big prize. You get the prize for life. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So Mother's Day is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Something else I wanted to mention too, because there's a lot of ladies that are doing downstairs facelifts nowadays, and being very quiet about it. But I'm all for it. Do it. Go for it, man. You want to go get badge rejuvenation? Do it. Do it.
Whatever makes you feel good. Whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's too much stigma around stuff now. Just do it. Yeah. I could really use a plastic surgeon right now. If y'all could see the bags under my eyes. Oh, I know that I have been doing some astral traveling because I've been packing with the bags under my eyes, apparently.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's not, it's because you're doing that. And that's, you're sleeping, but you're not really sleeping.
Yeah.
You're traveling,
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not waking up, like tossing and turning. I know I'm out. But I'm waking up exhausted.
Yeah. And
with 10-day luggage under each of my eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's bad travel.
All the fun stuff, right? Do you know what, though? I did learn. I was at the doctor the other day, and we were going through some stuff. And she asked me my age, and I told her 48. And she's like, wait a second. She's like, you're born in 77, right? Like, yeah. She's like, you're turning 48 this year. You're not 48 yet. Oh.
You forgot how old you were?
Yeah, I did. Like a few years ago, I just stopped counting. I'm like, I'm over 40 now. I don't want to know. But I gave myself a whole extra year. I'm a whole extra year younger. That made me so excited.
This is true, but something what I've learned. I mean, I'm 53 years old, and you have to embrace whatever age you are. But I'll tell you, there was nothing more liberating than when I turned 50. Because that's when I really stopped giving a shit about anybody else's opinions, judgments, and I really started finding myself and not being afraid to be my authentic self with everyone. It was like, I turned 50 and I was free.
Yeah. I kind of found that, I guess, at 45, I think. Yeah. Or maybe it was 44 since I thought I was a year older. I forget how old my kids are, too. I have to do the math. Yeah, because they're so old now. My oldest son is almost 30. Oh, I hate saying that out loud.
Yeah, but you see, you don't look like a mom of an almost 30-year-old. So
yeah. He probably hates me saying that out loud, too.
Oh, well. Too bad. Sorry, kids. Too bad.
Yep. Yeah.
You got a hot mama. Live with it.
Well, he knows that. Yeah. I think he's proud of that, low-key. Proud of that.
He'll never say it, but probably so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he is. Not some of the stuff that I do or say or wear, though. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
He'll get over it.
Yeah. Well, he always has. I've been this way my whole life. I'm not going to change.
And you shouldn't either. Why?
No, he would never want me to either. Well, maybe some things, but tough cookies.
That's just you be you always.
Yeah. So what else do we have going on? We've got Pluto in retrograde. Making us go through that whole transition of death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting because I've been really working with the energies recently of like Persephone and Hades and Hel, Norse mythology, Queen of the Underworld, right? Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's that scorpionic energy. Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. So while we're in Taurus season, we're actually feeling the scorpionic energy low key. Of course, we got the moon energy going on. And now Scorpio is in Lilith. So that is also creating this almost like a bad girl kind of energy. I mean, it's in Scorpio. Scorpio is already a badass sign anyway. True. But when you put Lilith in there, that's a whole level of badass. You know?
Yeah. I love Lilith. Lilith is the best. Yeah, I did an episode on her a little while back too that you guys might want to check out. Yep. She's definitely another one of my favorite deities to work with. Oh, I love her. Yeah. She's so empowering. She is. Yeah.
She is.
Especially if you ever had that kind of like first wife discarded type of situation in your life, right?
Right.
Or ever felt discarded for those reasons, for just being yourself and speaking your mind, right? Didn't even necessarily have to do with anyone else, right?
Yeah. But that's also very in line with like almost a Chiron wounding kind of energy, because Lilith and Scorpio, it's what do you call that? It's the wound of not feeling chosen, not feeling good enough.
Yeah.
So now that Lilith is in Scorpio, that might get triggered a little bit. Like we might be, if we already have that wound in us, and I think most people do in one level or another, one degree or another. Yeah. But it might be a little bit more so now triggering, being that we are in Taurus season. We just got the Scorpio full moon. So it wouldn't surprise me to somehow feel that, like that might come up for us. Like you might feel that unworthiness kind of thing, not feeling chosen, not feeling wanted, not feeling lovable.
Yeah. And I think I think it goes back to more childhood than romantic relationships. The reason I'm saying that is because I can see Mel right now, even though you guys can't. And her t-shirt is red, and Lilith is always like the red and black colors to me. And she has, it has Minnie Mouse on it.
It's all about me.
It's all about me. Yeah. So putting the focus back on your inner little, right? Yeah. And even if you're not by gender or female, right? Still putting that focus on the feminine energy part of your inner child, right? Because it's not always about gender.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not at all. It's feminine energy. We all have both masculine and feminine energy, no matter what our gender is. I mean, some of us are just gender neutral, and we don't subscribe to any gender. So it doesn't matter, but we still all have the masculine and the feminine energy. And so, the feminine side of all of us might be feeling a little bit insecure.
Yeah, having those wounds, those deep, inner child wounds triggered.
Right.
And part of that, what's just coming to mind right now is because your shirt has on it, "It's all about me," is maybe, you know, those parental figures or your caretakers in your life made you feel like it shouldn't be.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like it should be about them or something else. You know, they didn't let you have that. And of course you should be the main character. It's your life.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but just because of, you know, the synchronicity that I'm getting, my eyes were drawn to Mel's shirt. I was like, oh yeah, red and black, because that's what it is. It's red, black, and white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the colors actually in my Lilith deity heart.
Oh, there you go. You see? See, we were just talking about Lilith. There you go.
Yeah. And if you guys want to see any of these deity hearts that I'm talking about, I have a lot of them posted on my social media. There's a couple that I haven't taken pictures yet and posted yet. But yeah, I'm mostly active on Instagram and TikTok, so you can check it out there at @the_Miss Merlin on all platforms. I'll put all the links, as always, in the description box underneath with my link tree as well.
They're gorgeous. Like, if you haven't checked them out, I suggest very highly to do so, because Kimmy is so creative, and these beautiful deity hearts are just one of the most beautiful things that I've seen you create. And you've created a lot of stuff over the years.
Yeah.
But they're gorgeous. They're so beautiful.
Thank you. I just wanted to actually make it easier on myself. Because you guys know, I've mentioned before, I'm eclectic pagan. So I honor a lot of different deities from a lot of different factions. And I do have certain altars in my house that I change out on the daily sometimes. And with all the things that kind of go along with each deity, right? The different crystals. And although crystals are a new age thing, still they have connections to certain deities, and the energies of them are outstanding when you're trying to manifest things, right? So different crystal combinations associated to each deity, and then little herbs and offerings and stuff that I would put, you know, so it takes a long time to do that. So I just put them all in a little heart and encapsulated it with resin.
They're beautiful, and they're smart, and they're clever, and they're just Pluto and Aquarius. Yes. Find a new way to do things. Think something. Work smarter, not harder, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very Aquarius.
It was also very ADHD. I try to find the most efficient way to do something for myself.
Absolutely. Hey, that's the way to do it. Work smarter, not harder. That's my motto all the time.
Yeah. So I do sell them. So if you guys are interested in purchasing any of these beautiful things to honor the deities that you honor, let me know. And if there's ones that aren't pictured there, you can email me or DM me on any of my socials, because I either have them and haven't taken pictures of them yet, or I haven't made them yet, and I can create whatever you want me to. So, yeah.
I can't wait to receive mine. I ordered some, but I can't wait.
I know. I'm so excited. We're waiting to do the one for the Fae. Yeah, because it's the hawthorn plant or tree. It's more like a really big bush, actually. And the rowan tree are sacred to the Fae. And you know, we had that huge ice storm a while back and all the damage it did, right?
Yeah.
But I have 2 hawthorns in my yard, and they were untouched. My fairy trees. Yeah. So we're just waiting for them to flower, because the Fae told me to. And I checked them last night, actually, when I was watering my other flowers, and they have all the little buds are there. They're just about to open. And my hawthorns have the most beautiful, deep pink, like magenta flowers on them, which are a more rare one. They're beautiful. So, the Fae told me, because I was just going to go and get some leaves to harvest to put in them. And they said, no, just wait. We're about to flower. And then I don't have to take it from the tree. I can just get something that fell.
Right.
Yeah. It's very important, especially if you're working with Fey trees. You always want to get permission.
Sure.
Yeah, because the Fey especially can be particularly nasty if you make them angry.
Definitely. That's why we have to be very friendly with our trees and our plants and all that, because they govern all that. So, we want to treat nature with kindness and gratitude.
And respect.
Yes.
Yeah. Huge. Yeah. So also, since I'm mentioning my socials and stuff now, I am going to be starting up a subscription service on TikTok in the next couple of days. And on there, we're going to be doing additional readings weekly for just the subscribers, special healing things. I'm going to be doing mini courses, manifesting,
nice.
divination, things like that. I'm going to be doing a sex magic course if anyone is interested in that. Yes.
Hey.
Yep. So again, that's at @Miss Merlin and on TikTok. And that subscription service is going to be starting up tomorrow, actually, because I'm just looking at the date. So tomorrow, the 14th, my dad's birthday.
Exciting.
Yep. Taurus season.
Nice. Great time. A great time to start planting seeds and getting things going. This is the time for that.
Yeah. And also my subscribers will also have a discount too on any of my resin products or crystal healing bracelets.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you guys are going to want to watch out for that. So what else should we tell them about the astrology that's happening right now and just kind of coming up? Any last things that we can think of?
Well, Gemini season is right around the corner. And
in a week.
With Jupiter in Gemini placements, Sun, rising, Mars, Mercury, they're all going to be very active. Gemini is a very active air sign. It's immutable. It's an air sign. It's all about communication because it's ruled by Mercury.
Yeah.
And so all the Gemini placements, wherever you have Gemini in your chart, that house, whatever the aspects are to the other planets in your chart, it's going to be a fun time of expansion to communication, ways of communicating. Yeah. Because Gemini is the communication. It's all about communication. It's all about any kind of communication. It could be technology, it could be speaking, it could be singing, it could be writing. It doesn't really matter. There's so many different forms of communication. But with Gemini season right around the corner and Jupiter in Gemini, there's really going to be an expansion of how we communicate with ourselves, with the world. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a fun Gemini season.
I was feeling when you were saying that my head was getting throbby, and maybe the fogginess that's in there right now is kind of clearing the way for more telepathic communication.
Yes, absolutely. Expansion in all kinds of communication. I think, if we're actively working on telepathy, for example, I think that, or just communication with spirit, communication with our higher selves, communication,
channeling.
With our intuition, and however you communicate with whomever, whatever, I think that with Jupiter and Gemini, it's just going to be expansive. Yeah. So it's exciting. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I love Gemini season. I think it's great.
Yeah, me too. It's my moon sign. It's always fun. Yeah. I have so many Gemini traits.
I'm a rising. I'm a Gemini rising. So, I love fun, Gemini.
Mingling party energy.
Socializing.
Yeah.
Sure. It's almost like Sag. Sag being the opposite sign.
Yes.
It's just smaller scale versus larger scale for Sagittarius. But Gemini, but even Sagittarius placements are going to be affected as well because that's the opposite sign.
Yeah.
So I love either one, Gemini, Sag. I love the energy of that.
Yeah.
It's just so fun and adventurous and communicative and social. You know, a lot of socializing going on. My son's birthday is May 28th, so he's a Gemini in so many placements that he just he's a multiple personality type of person, and I just love all there is to love about him. He's just so fantastic, and he's taught me so much. Both my kids have, but him specifically because he's Gemini and I'm the Gemini rising, so that kind of they communicate with one another, you know.
Very well.
Yeah, they do. And you're Gemini moon, so of course my Gemini rising loves your Gemini moon.
Yeah, so, and I'm a Sag cusp for my sun sign, so I have a lot of Saggy traits. Yeah. So I get heightened by this energy. It's Gemini is so multifaceted, right? Yeah. The whole almost multiple personality disorder.
Oh yeah.
Like for almost but it isn't. It's just the multifaceted parts of it. Yeah. They just remind me of diamonds. Yeah. They really do. Just sparkly. And I really, really like it. I like the season. I feel lit up by it.
Me too.
And it really heightens all those kind of energies, those good, happy, bubbly. Yeah. Yeah. Flirty, but not flirty like with people. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just fun, fun and socializing. Light. Like it's like you want to communicate with other people when you're in Gemini, when in that energy, it's just like you want to reach out and call that person, or you want to get together with that person, and you want to go have a party, or you want, it's just,
you want to go sit outside on a patio.
Yes, it's fun energy. It's fun. It's light.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and we have that, that we're transitioning into that. So although things may have seemed a little chaotic this week, with these energies, we're clearing the way, right? Mm-hmm. That's what this is all about. For good, fun, light stuff. I feel like it's been really dark for a little while. Yeah. We've really been plunged into a lot of deep healing, a lot of us who have chosen to do that, and bravo for that, because it's not easy. But it's something really good is coming. I just feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely, the energy is going to be a lot lighter.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. When we were in Aries season and we had all those placements in Aries, it was tough.
It was fiery.
It was very tough. We had so much fire in the sky. It was nuts. And, you could just feel it bubbling inside of you. I know I could for sure.
Yeah.
But, and then we moved to Taurus season and it kind of lightened up a little bit, but you still had certain aspects going on that was still kind of a little heavy. But now that we're moving closer to Gemini season, it seems like the load is lightening up, the energies are lightening up, and I think it's going to be easier, a little easier.
Yeah, I agree. It's so funny because how I did mention LSD earlier, not advocating for that in any way, shape, or form. Okay, just putting that out there, getting it clear right now. But I just think it's hilarious because the Beatles started to play in my head when you were saying that. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. So just more of that, colorful, right? Because that's what that was. That was the whole Yellow Submarine era, right? The very 60s and flowers and bright colors and
psychedelics and
that's the kind of energy that I'm picking up. You know what else I'm getting to is delight. The groove is in the heart.
Oh gosh.
And they were so 60s.
70s. Yeah.
Oh, I love Delight. I still love them. I think they're just amazing. But I'm getting that whole Yeah,
exactly. Just what do you call those colors? Oh, when you do the tie-dye stuff,
Yeah.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And it's just like fun. Like you don't want to be in basic black. You want a splash of color. You want to just add those pinks and those yellows and those
orange.
Greens. The orange. You know, you want the bright stuff. And that's Gemini for me it's just about bright.
Yeah.
Being bright. Being seen, not being afraid to be seen.
Yeah. 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 I use Halloween decor, obviously, in my house as home decor. And what I was seeing in my head is in my kitchen right now, I have a pumpkin, and it's a pink paisley pumpkin. So it's like bright pink and baby pink and orange and all the colors, and it's all like paisley and stuff, very hippie, very retro. Yeah. And
very Gemini.
Can you see that behind me? My sparkly pink ghost with the little... This is a very 60s retro flower on it.
Oh, I remember when you bought that. That was so cute.
Yes!
Yeah.
This is the energy that I'm getting. This sparkly pink.
Yeah, it's just cute. It's cute, fun, silly. That's Gemini season.
Yeah. Sparkly pink, retro, 60s, psychedelic, fun. Yeah.
Just fun.
Not with substances, again, not advocating for that.
No. Just fun. Just, fun, clean, fun.
Yeah, and that's, maybe listen to some Delight, or maybe some old Beatles, Let's do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. You know what I just started here too is some old Tone Loc. Funky Cold Medina.
Oh, that's a good one. But goodie.
That's so funny. All right. Well, oh my gosh, we're over an hour now. It always goes fast when we're talking about fun things.
It does. Time flies when you're having fun.
Very true. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it so much. Thank you, Mel, as always, for coming back. We always love having you here.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy so much being a guest on your podcast. It's always fun, and you learn so much with this podcast. I really love it. I love listening to it, and I love being in it too. So yeah, it's all good. Love it.
Thank you, honey. All right, guys. I will see you next week, as always. So, until next time, as within, so without, stay magical. Bye.